Coming up on Wake Up NonStop Local, Decision Day. A former Spokane City Council president set to appear at a change of plea hearing today. The charges against Ben Stuckert coming up.
Also this morning, class back in session. The Moses Lake School District and the Teachers Union reaching a tentative contract. What's ahead as the strike ends?
Plus, atmospheric river taking aim at our region, bringing rounds and rounds of rain, warmer temperatures, and high winds.
Also this morning, striking discovery. New information about Chernobyl following a drone strike, why radiation could be leaking, and who may be to blame.
3, 2, 1. And ski resorts around the inland Northwest open for business, where you can ride and what you can expect with this week's warmer temperatures. It's all coming up right now on Wake Up NonStop Local.
Wake up, you gotta rise to the sun, and here it comes, it's time to make the best of what you got to give. It's all about rising, and I wanna be there.
Here's a live look at Mission Ridge in Wenatchee this morning. This mountain's open and ski resorts across the region are ready for ski season. But warm weather could impact business in opening day for resorts that haven't opened yet. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kalai Chalk.
And I'm Sam Adams. Kids Ski Free Week at Schweitzer, as you can tell from these photos posted to social media over the weekend. Several mountains around our region also starting to open up. Others opening as soon as this coming weekend, but rain could impact everything that we're talking about.
Here's a look at the resorts open right now. Schweitzer, Mission Ridge, and Lookout Pass, but not all of the terrain is open yet.
And meantime, 49 degrees north, as well as Crystal Mountains, still yet to be determined right now. Silver Mountain is set to open Friday this week. Mount Spokane scheduled to open on Saturday. But again, with that warm week ahead, we could see rain instead of snow at some of those resorts.
Okay, for details on that, let's get over to Jenny Power, who's got a look.
Yeah, Sam Kalai, what I'm tracking here is an atmospheric river taking aim at the Pacific Northwest. And so what this is going to do is deliver us quite a bit of rain. And it's going to be a little bit dicey, just depending on different elevations here for your various mountain ski resorts. Some folks are going to pick up some additional snow, especially those resorts that sit at the higher elevation. Schweitzer, for example, Sherman Pass also looking to pick up some additional snow. It's through areas like Snoqualmie Pass that are going to be seeing more of some rain showers or even a little bit of a rain-snow mix. So in general, what we're preparing to see here are rounds and rounds of rain, as well as some warmer than normal temperatures along this moisture track. That is also leading here to some flood watches in place for areas shaded in green toward the central part of the state, as well as into north central Idaho. We're preparing to see some rising creeks and rivers because of some excessive rainfall, as well as some snow melt. And we could even see rock and mudslides potentially in steep terrain or through areas that have recently been burn scarred. As far as winds go, this is the other concern as we head into this evening. We've got a wind advisory going into place where we could see gusts as high as 45 to 55 miles per hour. But the full timing of the system and the weather impacts we're going to hang on to through the end of the week we'll touch on in 10 minutes. Sam Kalai.
All right, Jenny, thank you. This just in, a woman in western Washington is now dead after a tree fell on top of her car on State Route 203. This happened near Carnation. This is about 30 miles east of Seattle. It happened Saturday afternoon.
Washington State Patrol says Emma Ingram and her boyfriend were headed south on 203 when a tree fell on top of their car, killing her. Her boyfriend was airlifted to Harborview Medical Center with serious injuries. WSP says that she was not wearing a seatbelt. A second car hit the debris and a guardrail. Everyone inside the car was okay. Well, coming up later today, former City Council President Ben Stuckert will have a change of plea hearing for his role in the June 11th protests against ICE. It's the first of 3 change of plea hearings set for this week. Authorities arrested and charged at least 9 people in all with conspiracy to impede or injure officers and with assaulting a federal officer during an ICE arrest. Stuckert was the legal guardian of one of 2 men from Venezuela who were being detained by ICE. To a developing story right now, the Adams County Sheriff has now announced that they are one step closer to completing the remodel of the county jail. They're expecting the project to begin in May with an estimated completion by the end of 2026. Construction includes safety updates, a more functional facility, and more space for the dispatch team. The jail was closed back in 2022. It came after an inmate attacked another inmate and a corrections officer, injuring them both. Students head back to class in Moses Lake today. The school district and the teachers union have reached a tentative contract agreement ending last week's strike. The district says it'll release the details as soon as it's ratified by the union.
Now, once the union accepts this deal, the Moses Lake School Board would then need to approve it at their next meeting. That's December 18th. The agreement now ending a strike that canceled classes district-wide all of last week. Well, porch pirates are going to new lengths right now to make off with your packages. A family on the Spokane South Hill now says that a man dressed up as an Amazon delivery driver walked up to their doorstep, left someone else's stolen package there, and then stole all of their packages.
It says the family says it happened while they were out of town. Joanne and Dane Francis checked their doorbell camera and saw this.
All right, an Amazon-style vest, leaving behind a small package and then stealing their large stack of orders, totaling more than $400.
Because we have our doorbell camera, and so I just saw them 2 hours earlier, sitting right there on the porch. So I logged in, and they were all gone.
Even though he didn't break in, he still broke in. That's our house. If you're not invited up on my porch, you can't be there.
The package left behind belonged to another family across town who also reported it stolen.
All right, the Francis family has filed a police report and reported it to Amazon as well. Anyone who recognized the person on the screen should contact Crime Check. Take a live look right now from Olympia. Washington state lawmakers gearing up for the upcoming 2026 legislative session. It begins January 12th. Bills are already starting to roll in.
A higher ed plan would expand financial aid and cut tuition 10% a year for 3 years starting in 2027. It'd be paid for by removing caps on a surcharge paid by major tech companies. One bill would add political affiliation to Washington's hate crime laws.
And another proposal would tax paid protesters by adding them to the state's definition of temporary staffing. And a bipartisan bill would push Washington to study nuclear power, but only with private funding.
New tax ideas are also in play, including restoring a $1 billion tax break and creating a payroll tax for large employers. And a fee on new car purchases could double to support the state's arbitration program for warranty complaints. Washington state is reporting losses of millions of dollars from frauds and scams. According to data from the Federal Trade Commission, there have been nearly 30,000 fraud reports made this year alone.
Most common scam tactic right now is government impersonation, followed by business impersonation. On Friday last week, several anti-fraud organizations gave a presentation in Olympia where they say that people usually comply because of trust.
So what we've done is we've created an ecosystem that allows people to get digitally authenticated, and you have a criminal industrial complex with these criminals out there trying to scam people that do this thousands of times a day, and they have access to massive amounts of personal information, and they gain the victim's trust.
That's Paul Benda from the American Bankers Association. He says it's not just phone calls being trusted, but also scams on social media.
The Spokane County Sheriff's Office, meantime, is urging people to think critically about the calls that they get to make sure they don't fall victim to a scam. Luigi Mangione is back in court today as a judge decides if key evidence during his arrest will be allowed in his murder trial. He's accused of shooting and killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson on a New York street. Now, during his arrest in Pennsylvania, days later, prosecutors say police found a folding knife, a to-do list, and a Greyhound bus ticket with an alias.
Mangione was taken into custody almost 1 year ago to the day. His attorneys arguing police took items from the backpack before reading his rights. They want that ghost gun and journal found in the backpack to be thrown out of the case, claiming the search was illegal.
And new this morning, we move now to Russia and Ukraine and the war there. We'll continue to follow this when we come back here on Wake Up NonStop Local.